welcome back to another episode of Veach season. I am your guest host, Rocky Magaña, here with your other guest host, Kramer Sansone, filling in once again, as always, for Chiefs resident genius and general manager, Brett Veach. He is off enjoying family vacation. We assume someplace beautiful like Mayorga or Belize or in the Maldives, maybe taking in a surf lesson. He seems like a guy who would surf. He's got the core strength.
He looks
I would
fit.
say. I bet you if you saw Brett Veach with his shirt off, you would say, GD, what a zaddy. Hey, zaddy. Like if I saw Brett Veach walking on the beach, I saw Veach on the beach, right? No, a little bit of rhyme. Yeah, I got bars. I'm not ashamed of it. Anyway, I saw Veach on the beach. I would probably chicken neck a little bit and be like, hey, Zaddy, you want a Truly? I got a Truly for you, Zaddy. As I say this, please know that I would rather be caught dead than to ever drink a Truly at any point.
Good. Thank you for clarifying that.
I am a middle-aged father of two who has a beer belly. I do not drink seltzers. I drink thick beers like IPAs and Guinness, and actually really anything that's a beer. I don't care. I'll drink any beer that's not a Michelob Ultra.
Oh man, honest. Rocky, you and I agree. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, well, we're basically we're two peas in a pod. We're two fellas cut from the same cloth, however you want to put it, brothers from another mother.
There we go.
Twin flames, soulmates.
Flames.
Yeah, however you want to call it, bro. That's us. Well, anyway, this is Veach season. We are happy to be back with you guys. One more week, still not canceled. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, boomers, or non-boomers, or cancel culture. I blame Obama. I don't know. I'm joking. That's the joke. That's the joke that I have with some of my friends, is that even now, like 8 years later, like we'll wake up and we'll be out of milk in the refrigerator and we'll be like, thanks, Obama. And that's
it's kind of like the school lunches back in my day. They got absolutely obliterated by the time I was able to get the good stuff. I was supposed to get Little Caesars pizza every single Friday in high school. That didn't happen.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah. I digress.
But we digress. So anyway, what's hot with Crave Dog?
So I don't know if you know this, Rocky, but I do like rap music. And of course, one of the rap gurus, the geniuses, I would say one of the best that has came through. I mean, this part of town, especially being born, and I'm not fully raised there, but St. Joseph, Missouri. But Marshall Mathers, Eminem, the death of Slim Shady coming out on July 12th. And I can't wait. His Houdini song that just came out was absolutely fantastic. Loved it. So I can only imagine what this album is going to be fully of. If it's going to be his old genre type stuff mixed in with his new modern stuff that he's been putting out recently. But you know what? I cannot wait to see what Marshall Mathers has for us.
Oh my God. I am so excited because, as I agree with you, I am an OG rap fan since, like, we're talking back in the 90s, like Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers, Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style. If we're going to go with more local stuff, the Road Dog Villains, let's get effed up, let's get high, let's get drunk, right? Like back in the day. Yep. And so, so Slim Shady coming out was like the revolutionary, like my mom almost had a heart attack when she heard me listening to Tupac's All Eyes on Me when I was like 13 years old. And then like 6 months later, when she heard me listening to Eminem, she prayed that I was listening. I was only listening to Tupac, right?
Right.
That's how what a difference he was from anything that came out that time. Where the shock value in itself was an art form, and obviously you can argue whether or not half of his first album couldn't get made today with the way things are these days, right? Like you can't make that album anymore. But that being said, the guy has he's one of the best lyricists and has bars for days. He has great flow. He's a perfectionist at his art. I'm excited for Eminem's next album. I still roll with Slim Shady. I still think he's great.
Same.
Also in rap news, since we're talking rap news.
Okay, what else? What you got me?
Well, did you see Kendrick and Friends, the pop-up?
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh yeah,
I did.
We're talking like what he played it 5 times in a row
Uh-huh.
to end the thing. Oh my gosh. Like that was like
everybody just vibing and going with it. Yeah, it was
that was amazing. That was one of the best concerts I've ever seen in my entire life. And I mean, I make no I do not hide whatsoever that I think Drake writes lyrics like he's a 13-year-old boy who's staring at a Pamela Anderson poster 24/7. Like he's just a horned up little boy trying to write rap music, and he's not talented at all. I think Drake is the most overrated rapper in the game today. And the fact that they just went full on him like that was one of the most beautiful things ever. And it was awesome because watching that concert in the lead up to Kendrick's set, you got to see so many like lesser known rappers that maybe you hadn't heard of before, or you hadn't like necessarily like given time to. And this dude, Ray Vaughn, who was one of the very first dudes who played a song in the show, was awesome. Like he was so awesome. And I've been listening to his music pretty much nonstop since then. And he's one of my favorite rappers now. So like, dude, if you like rap music, go check out Ray Vaughn, RayVaughn. And the dude is awesome. They just signed him to TDE. And so, yeah, he's great. Also in rap music news, I am a sucker for strong female voices in rap who unabashedly rap about whatever they want. And they are very body positive about themselves and about their physical needs. I think that it is awesome that for throughout the history of mankind, women have been told to be seen, not heard, don't speak out, don't use your voice, all these things. And these black rappers, or just female rappers in general, but especially strong black women who are rappers who have been marginalized and made out to be single mothers who are just basically caregivers, are able to take control of their womanhood and say, hey, I got sexual needs, and this is what I believe in, and this is what I want, and I'm going to go out there and get it. And yeah, I'm a baddie. What about it? You'd be lucky to have me, right? And that being said, Megan Thee Stallion's new song, Where Them Girls At? Holy shit, Kramer Sansone. That's not a summer banger. I don't know what is.
Like, I have yet to listen to it. I need to so bad.
Oh my God. Put that on the music, turn it up to 50, and just appreciate it for what it is, because it is just nothing but body positive. I am a baddie. Deal with it. You'd be lucky to be with me. So here's my girls. They're the same way.
Hell yeah.
It's summertime. Let's get out and get freaky and have fun. And yeah, so Megan Thee Stallion's Where Them Girls At gets a seal of approval from me for a summer song.
All right, I'll do some homework on that one. I'll report next week.
All right. Well, that's what's hot with Crame Dog. And also your 5-minute Veach season rap report now apparently is something that we do. Speaking of 5 minutes and things that start with the number 5.
Five time. We have $5
footlongs. No, we don't have $5. Now sponsored. Veach season sponsored by
$5
footlongs.
They're not even $5 anymore. Inflation. It killed the $5 footlong.
Oh, but speaking of $5, is that I guess McDonald's is bringing back $5 meals because it's like $30 to go get a hamburger at McDonald's now.
Yeah, it is.
And so I guess they're bringing back $5 meals because people are probably like, listen, I'm not paying $30 for your crappy food. If I'm going to pay $30, I'm going to go get like actual real food from somewhere else. Right. Like, sorry. And so they're bringing back the $5 value menu.
It's about time.
Allegedly. That's what my wife told me, so
no, I've heard that too. So I think it's coming. I don't eat there, but I just know.
Well, I'm glad my wife's not a liar.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't have to get off this podcast and walk into our bedroom and say, you lied to me. I can't believe you would lie to me. But anyway, speaking of the number 5, we have a 5-star review this week from Bussin' with the Boys. I wish it was the real Bussin' with the Boys, but no, I don't actually.
No, this is the real Bussin' with the Boys.
This is the real. The other Bussin' with the Boys is like the fake other Bussin' with the Boys. Exactly. This is the legit, true OG Bussin' with the Boys as far as I'm concerned. And Bussin' with the Boys writes on Apple Podcasts, my Sunday walks haven't been the same without you knuckleheads. I'm glad that you refound us. Whether you're talking about us or Great British Chief Show or BK and
Show
and,
BK
and Ron and show and BK or Ron or whoever it is that you found or Serta that you missed so much that you now refound. We are so happy that you found us because we are just sitting here waiting to be found by you so that we can talk straight into your ear holes about Chiefs football or anything else that comes to our mind, because this show is really just a stream of consciousness of like two buddies hanging out at the bar, just bullshitting whatever comes to mind. And I think that's the strength of it. It may also be the weakness of it, and maybe its ultimate downfall. But for now, we're riding high on the wave of positivity that we feel just from hanging out with one another, and we're just gonna go with it, right? And so, but that being said, Bussin' with the Boys, thank you. We are honored that you gave us a 5-star review, and keep them up, guys. If you give us a 5-star review, we'll read it on the air. Even if you can give us 5-star review and just talk total shit on us 24/7.
We'll still read it.
I'll read it. Yeah, you can just literally just say whatever horribly mean things you want to say about me or Kramer.
Yeah,
and we'll read it. I won't read mean things about Kramer because I love him too much, and it might hurt me too much to read hurtful things out loud. But he can read his own hurtful things out loud, and I'll read my hurtful things out loud.
That's healthy. I like that.
Yeah, we're all about mental health here at Veach season.
Veach season, baby.
Yeah, Veach season, baby. All right, moving forward, it's time for this week's Pop Kingdom. All right, here in Pop Kingdom, there's a lot of pop culture news regarding the Kansas City Chiefs this week. And it's the off season, so there's more pop culture news than there is actual Chiefs news, which for that I apologize, because like you, I prefer to talk more about real football than pop. I like it both. Who am I kidding? I like talking pop culture and Chiefs pop culture as much as I like talking football, but I do like it when there's substantial Chiefs stuff to talk about in games and practices and interviews and blah, 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 blah. I am happy that there is no negative off-field story that we need to talk about this week regarding the Chiefs. I'm happy that there's no injury. I'm happy there's no arrest. I'm happy there's nothing worse, that could have possibly happened. That being said, in pop culture news, there's a Chiefs Hallmark movie coming out this year, a Chiefs Christmas Hallmark movie coming out that they are filming at Arrowhead Stadium. This will be the first ever movie that's going to be at Arrowhead Stadium. Kramer, on a scale of 1 to a bajillion, how many bajillions excited are you to see this movie?
I am not a Hallmark movie connoisseur. My mother absolutely loves them. She texted me last night, since it was July 1st. This is when the recording is. She texted me last night, the 30th, saying, guess what's tomorrow? Hallmark Christmas movies, all month of July. I probably will watch it loosely. I'm not sure if I'll put full attention onto it. I'm not really that big love interest kind of guy. I'm not a big fan of rom-coms. I mean, I'll watch them if I have to. But I'm gonna dabble. The only thing that I was mad about this is they were trying to get extras here. There was a sign-up link, whether if it was on any of the news outlets here in Kansas City, and the link for you to apply to be an extra lasted only 6 hours. 6 hours. So when I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning that next day when they were releasing that out, I tried to click on it, so it was closed. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It is 5 o'clock in the morning the next day. You're telling me you had a 6 hour. I wanted to be an extra. I didn't care about watching the movie. I just wanted to be an extra in the movie. Because can you imagine me being a fan up in Arrowhead?
It's like getting tickets to go see Taylor Swift. You got to be ready to go. Once the link goes live, you got to jump on top of it, because those spots are going to go fast, buddy.
I'm just shocked it was like 6 hours long. That's the thing. Like,
people don't want to be in a Chiefs Hallmark Christmas love story movie? Are you kidding me? That's like the perfect movie. And I know you say you don't like it, which I'm sorry that you hate love. Does your fiance?
No, I love love. I just don't sitting through a movie that's about
hate love. You hate Christmas movies, apparently.
No, whoa. What's
you never heard of a movie called Die Hard or Home Alone? Kevin McAllister just doesn't exist in your universe. Nothing.
I'm a
like
claymation guy.
Maybe a little bit of Chevy Chase, like
Christmas
National
Vacation.
Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, right? Like maybe one of the greatest comedic performances of all time, which is not just Chevy Chase, but also what's the Cousin Eddie?
Oh my goodness.
What is his name? His brother, Randy Quaid.
Yeah, Randy Quaid.
Cousin Eddie. Randy Quaid is Cousin Eddie, and Christmas Vacation is one of the greatest comedic performances of all time. That movie is one of the most quotable movies you'll ever watch. I mean, how can you not be excited about a Chiefs Christmas movie coming out? It's called Holiday Touchdown, a Chiefs love story.
How many?
And it's on the Hallmark Channel, which means that there's going to be somebody who inherits an inn in the mountains of Kansas City somehow.
Or the mountain's going to be out here.
Yeah, there's gonna be a mountains in Kansas, like a mountain backdrop in Kansas City, and somebody inherited an Airbnb from their great aunt, and they show up there, and there's a really handsome innkeeper who is taking care of the grounds, and he's a huge Chiefs fan, and she learns to love the Chiefs through finding love for him, and then it turns out that he's a ghost all along, and he was like Lamar Hunt's original ghost. Like groundskeeper back in the day, because that's how these holiday Hallmark movies are. It's always a ghost. It's always at an Airbnb. It's always at Christmas time, and it's always somebody. It'll be like Lamar Hunt's cousin, like cousin's daughter. It's like she gets an internship with the Chiefs, and she has to go to the Airbnb in the mountains, and that's where she meets the guy who's the ghost of the original groundskeeper for Arrowhead Stadium, who now runs an Airbnb in the mountains, but has like salt and pepper and like 6'5" with a strong jawline and scruffy. Like Travis Kelce will probably play the guy, right? Like that's what he's going to look like, right? But he's like going to be wearing a flannel shirt and be in front of the fire. And he's going to have hot cocoa in his hand at all times. He's going to be able to say just the right thing. She's going to hate him at first, but then she's going to realize that past his rough exterior, he's just trying to protect himself because he doesn't want to be hurt again, because he's a ghost, and no matter how much he's afraid to love her because he knows it can't last. But she learns to love herself, and so does he, through loving each other and through Chiefs football at Christmas time. And then he's able to go back to Arrowhead Stadium and find the closure he needs on the grounds there at 50-yard line, because she sets up like a dinner with them for him at the 50-yard line on Christmas Eve, and they dance and they kiss, and then he turns into snowflakes and he drifts away.
Rocky,
and then she finds inner peace.
I think you just spoiled the entire movie.
Spoiler alert! Sorry, guys. I should have said that. I wrote the screenplay. Spoiler. No, I'm joking. I didn't write the screenplay.
No, but they should start it to where like they're in the West Bottoms. I think that should be the location the entire time. I don't care about no mountain type stuff. Can you imagine like all the old brick buildings that are downtown that they could be using for this with the snow? I mean, they're not going to get real snow down there. I mean, by the time they're going to film it, it's already going to be done before Christmas, I think. Unless, are they filming it during Christmas? Or are they going to have it released?
No, they're filming it this summer. But they're gonna use like snow machines, like like they're gonna like. Come on,
CGI. That's 2024.
We live in 2024. Like they could literally just go to ChatGPT and type in Hallmark Christmas movie with the Kansas City Chiefs, and it'll just generate it for them. They don't even have to technically record it anymore.
Do you see all the AI that's going around with like AI? Oh my gosh, the WNBA star that just got drafted, Indiana
Caitlin
Fever.
Clark.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark. Oh my God, I cannot believe. Just dabble into some of Caitlin Clark AI interviews.
No, 100%. So like literally, we'll talk. I have a project I'm working on here for Foolish Club Media, and I was going through and I was going through and editing some of the audio on it the other day. And I found this website where literally you can choose, like I could choose Snoop Dogg's voice, and I just take my audio recording of my cadence of me talking, and then I just choose Snoop Dogg's voice, and then I hit process and download, and it does the entire podcast audio that I'm saying, only it's Snoop Dogg's voice instead of my voice.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, right. But there's also these other voices that are like these like gruff, like Cormac McCarthy character type of guys, or like like these like John Wayne, like mountain, like the way I've always wanted to sound in real life, where it's like he was born on the range of the savannah, and he fought against the he fought against the mountain men every day. And when he was 13, his pa walked away and never came home again.
I just thought about this.
Like that, right? Like that. I could sound like that if I used AI, but I don't, because I care about the authenticity of my product.
I know this is super. Yeah. I mean, it's still the same topic. Frank Caliendo's job just got lost to AI.
Oh, Frank Caliendo has been an AI program, I think, this entire time. Okay. He's not a real person. Like they talk about like alien technology being on planet Earth. Frank Caliendo was just like an alien AI program that they sent to planet Earth so that humans could learn AI and copy the technology.
Man, his John Gruden stuff is it's great.
It is great, but he's more of an audio like impersonator. When you see him physically, you're like, well, you don't look like John Gruden. Duh. Oh, anyway, so the Chiefs are doing a Hallmark movie, and I, for one, am going to watch the premiere of it. I don't even have a Blu-ray or DVD player, but I may purchase the Blu-ray DVD version of it as a collector's item and put it on my shelf. And I think that you should too. I think that we should have a watch party so that we can give it a review, so that we can review it and have an entire episode dedicated to a review of a Christmas touchdown, a Chiefs love story.
You know what? I'm down.
All right.
I'm down.
In other Chiefs pop culture news, the Plaza has new owners in downtown Kansas City. They was purchased by a group that is owned by Clark Hunt's second cousins. So the way the story goes is Clark Hunt's dad was an oil tycoon, right? Who like came upon some land, had some oil, and he was like, and so the big oil guy on the TV show Dallas back in the day, I can't remember his name. Leave in the comments, tell me the guy's name I'm missing. Is it JR? I think maybe it's JR. JR was the big oil guy on Dallas. Anyway, he was
sheriff. He was like the head.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, but I digress. Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. The big oil guy on Dallas was based on Lamar Hunt's dad, right? The guy's a billionaire oil tycoon. He had multiple wives. At one point, he had 2 wives at the same time. His oldest daughter he had 15 kids total. His oldest daughter was 17 years old when Lamar Hunt was born, right? So there's 17 years between her and Lamar Hunt. Now, the oldest daughter is the grandmother of the people who just bought the Plaza. So Clark Hunt's second cousins, once removed, step, half cousin siblings, now own the Plaza. But they all live together in the same, super rich, super wealthy, super extravagant neighborhood in Dallas. I guess the guy who owns it lived across the street from Norma Hunt. And so they're all, and he was in Clark Hunt's wedding. So they're all still very close because, like the super rich family. Family are, they stick together. But yeah, so the Plaza is now kind of owned by the Hunt family, even though they don't have the last name Hunt.
I'm curious what they're going to do. Are they going to like add more stuff downtown to the Plaza? Because I mean, I'm cool with that. I absolutely felt gutted when they got rid of the Nike outlet that was down there. Because I'm like, what are we doing here? It was not even here for 5 years. It's gone. Like it just sucked. But hopefully they do some stuff down there to help boost it up a little bit more than what it already is.
Well, we know they have the resources.
Oh yeah, no, they've got deep pockets now.
They don't lack the resources to do it. So it just
imagine like a Chiefs zone down there. Like, can you imagine just having the Chiefs zone? Something that you can just make. Or Foolish Club Media Zone.
Why not just put the whole new Arrowhead Stadium down there?
I think it would fit. Plus, the number one question.
Of course it would fit.
No, the number one question everybody has here in Kansas City.
You tear out the Grand Falloon.
Where am I going to park?
Yeah, you remove the Grand Falloon. You tear out what else? What else is over there? Capitol Grill.
Get rid of Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah,
get rid of Forever 21.
Yeah, get rid of all that and just put Arrowhead Stadium right there, smack dab in the middle of the Plaza, and then build around it. Buy UMKC, buy Rockhurst, buy all the surrounding area and just build it out.
MCC as well. That's down there.
Yeah, see, just buy it all out and then put a Foolish Club Media Zone right there in the mix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, there we go. Perfect. We got a plan.
We're figuring it out.
Clark, call us. We got the solution.
We already filled the shoes for Brett Veach here on his own show. Why can't you just give us we got you. Let's give us a phone call.
Just give us a cool $1 billion and we'll double it. We'll double it in 5 years, tops. So other news also, Kelsey was asked to be in the Netflix series Receiver, and he turned it down, saying, and I quote, "I've had enough of that reality TV shit. I got too much going on with the podcast. I'm good."
That's the podcast is reality TV at its finest already. So it's like he doesn't even need to do anything more. Plus, I think finally someone talked to him about all the advertisements he was in about a couple years ago of him being literally in every single commercial known to mankind. I think someone said, "Hey, you can tone it down a little bit now," and he probably thought, "Yeah, you're right. I'm also with Taylor Swift. I don't think I have to do really much anymore."
Well, that's the whole deal. I mean, you're with a billionaire.
Do you think he also do you think he had the because Taylor Swift's a businesswoman, clearly she understands it. Do you think he actually had the question like, "Hey, should I do this? Like, it's just gonna be a lot on my plate."
I guarantee he did. I mean, they're in a committed adult relationship. Any sort of major decision you generally discuss with your life partner, even if it's your choice to make, you at least have that conversation of hey, let me run this past you. Should I do this? You know, and then you make the decision based upon what's going to be best for you as a unit, right? If you guys are in a partnership. And so I'm sure that she was probably like, what do you gain from it at this point? Like Devontae Adams and Justin Jefferson are in it. Deebo Samuel is in it. Like, those guys have clout to gain from being in that sort of a series, right? But now, Travis Kelce is not going to Travis Kelce's not going to become more famous or more recognizable or more marketable by being on that show. Like, it doesn't provide anything to him. Like, it provides a lot to the series, but he's risen above that sort of situation at this point.
The show needs him more than he needs the show.
Yeah, the show needs him more than he needs the show, right? And so that doesn't mean that he can't do it. Like, obviously, Patrick Mahomes wanted to do the show, and he didn't have to do the show. But there's just like Kelsey saying no to it just means that there's no reason for him to do it if he doesn't want to do it, right? Like, he's not gaining anything from it other than just saying, "Hey, this is my face on another thing." Right.
Good for you, Travis.
Yeah. You know what, Travis? Choose you and just do whatever you want.
And choose
You're
love.
At that point in your life. You've choose love. You've earned it. You've paid your dues. You're at the point now where you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Also, okay, so I'm going to lean on you a little bit here because you're our resident wrestling expert.
Yep. I'd say so.
So you remember, look at that. Look at that. Those of you who are not watching us on YouTube are missing out because
you name these guys, Rocky?
Kramer Sansone. Let me look at him here. Was that the Ultimate Warrior?
That is the Ultimate Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior. I see him. And that's Jake the Snake.
Yep.
Right. I don't know the other two.
It's this is Bret Hart.
Oh, okay. Bret Hart. Nice.
And there's Hot Rod Roddy Piper.
Oh, I should see. I didn't see the kilt. Right. That's why.
Can we even get? No, there. Oh, okay, kind of shown.
If I would have seen the kilt, I would have known that it was Roddy Piper. Okay. Yeah. So Kramer is wearing a great '80s WrestleMania T-shirt right now. And speaking of WrestleMania, when WWE was in Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes had an altercation, during the show, Braun Strowman has now come out and said that he wants to challenge Patrick Mahomes to a match in the ring.
So back when it was in Kansas City, Logan Paul is partnered with Patrick Mahomes is with Logan Paul's Prime Drink. He's one of his endorsers with it. He was out there to give him his Super Bowl rings to give him that one lucky punch. That's the finishing move that Logan Paul has. And Braun Strowman took exception to that because Logan Paul's a heel, Braun Strowman's a face. So it's weird to see a face on face because Patrick Mahomes got the face reaction out of the Kansas City crowd because there's nothing Patrick Mahomes can't do wrong here in Kansas City. The thing that finds me intriguing, though, is it's not like it's a review on wrestling, but last Friday in Madison Square Garden was Friday Night SmackDown. Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks was in attendance, and one of the prime energy drink endorsers in the NBA is Tyrese Halliburton. Pacers and Knicks just had a heated playoff series, and it just happened. And so Tyrese Halliburton played into the heel role. Jalen Brunson played in the face because it was in Madison Square Garden. That worked. Braun and Patrick Mahomes, I don't think that would work at all. Plus, Braun Strowman is 6'8", I believe, 340 pure solid muscle, I feel like. And then Patrick Mahomes would be 6'3", 225. It's
pure solid muscle.
I would say all that.
Solid muscle.
Dad bod approved Patrick Mahomes, which, by the way, love the bod.
Dad bods are dense. Bods are dense, my friend.
They absorb.
They may not be cut, but they're dense.
Yes, sir. No, but that'd be fun. I would actually like to see Patrick Mahomes go square up. Then also clearly Creed and Trey Smith also be there as well. But
him running down the ramp, right? Like if he starts to get beat, come running down the ramp to save him.
And all the offensive line. Heck, even get both Kingsley and Wanya in there too.
Yeah, they all start stomping on Strowman and beating him up, and then the referee disqualifies Patrick Mahomes, and then everybody boos him. So Patrick Mahomes plays into the heel a little bit, right?
He would have to
the bad guy.
So say if it was in perfect for the last WrestleMania because in Philadelphia, and you know how Philadelphia people are. That'd have been perfect. That'd have been icing on the cake if it was happening there, but depends on location because you can easily play the heel if, like, say, San Francisco or heck, who are the other teams that they've beaten? Oh yeah, San Francisco again twice in the last 4 years, but it's hilarious. But yeah, I hate San Fran. I can't stand San Francisco.
Fran too. Oh, I mean, I hate San Fran almost as much as I hate Las Vegas. I don't like all the pop that Kyle Shanahan gets. Everybody talks like he's the greatest football mind in football. And sure, he's a good offensive mind, but he's also choked in 3 second halves of Super Bowls.
Yep.
He's lost leads in 3 second halves of Super Bowls, and it's 0-3 as a coordinator and a head coach in the Super Bowl. And we're talking about him like he's like this guy where he's inevitably going to win the big game. You're not going to inevitably win the big game if you can't coach an entire game.
Yo, that Super Bowl against the Falcons and Patriots, I don't think he's ever mentally came back from that. I just don't think. A lot of people haven't came back from that. Everybody's career from the Atlanta Falcons team declined quickly.
I mean, it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow to come back from. I mean, like being up 21 points they were?
28
points. Jeez Louise. Yeah. Going back to Strowman versus Mahomes for a second. Here's how you can make it work in Kansas City with them kind of being the heel. Okay, Patrick Mahomes is fighting Strowman. Strowman starts to beat up Mahomes. The entire offensive line comes down the ramp, right, to save him. The referee's like, hey, don't get in the ring, you guys, blah, 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 blah. Creed Humphrey or Trey Smith or whoever is like arguing with the referee, and the referee turns his back to like the two guys to like argue with Creed Humphrey, try to tell him to get out of the ring, and Creed Humphrey's refusing to leave. While that's happening, the other guys all stomp Strowman, and then the referee turns back around after it's done, and Strowman is like unconscious on the ground, and then Mahomes gets on top of him, pins him. Everybody goes crazy. Mahomes wins. He's not disqualified because they do the old like referee back turned to the situation while the other guys cheat.
Or another idea, say if like Mahomes is in the like talking to the ref like at the like turnbuckle area, then Strowman wants to like supercharge up and run towards him. Mahomes gets out of the way, then Strowman knocks out accidentally the ref, so the ref's completely just on the ground for the remainder of this match. That's when the boys come out. You can do whatever the hell you want, jump off turnbuckles, go through tables. You can bring out a ladder, more chairs. Why not? That would be fun.
They all grab him. The offensive linemen all grab him and hold him. And Mahomes goes in the crowd, gets his Super Bowl rings, comes back with all of his Super Bowl rings on, and then punches him in the face with the Super Bowl rings on, all 3 of them.
Yes.
Yeah, knocks him unconscious.
Hey, Triple H, we got you ideas.
Triple H, call us up. We could be an NFL general manager. We could be an NFL team owner. We could be WWE general managers. Yeah, head bookers, writers. Listen, we are multifaceted, multi-talented individuals here, Kramer.
Oh yeah.
And if anybody wants to hire us, on a per diem basis of, let's be honest, pizza and beer, I'll do pretty much anything.
Gosh, definitely the pizza. That sounds great right now.
Yeah, it sounds awesome right now. I'm starving. Okay. Other news. Moving on in Pop Kingdom. We got a lot of Pop Kingdom news to go through here. Mahomes was in an interview recently, and he said he doesn't want to play for 19 or 20 years like Tom Brady did, because if he played for as long as Tom did, then Sterling would be 19 or 20 years old when he retired, and he wants to be there for his children. I don't see anything wrong with this comment. I think it's great. He's a present father. He cares about his kids. He wants to be there for them. As a Chiefs fan, I hope he abandons his family and he just plays for 50 years.
So
I
like
don't
what
know
Tom
them.
did.
Yeah, I go do a Tom Brady. Yeah, because I'm selfish and I want Patrick Mahomes for as long as possible, or at least until Bronze Mahomes is ready to be drafted and take over for his father. Like do a LeBron James Bronny situation. Like that's what I want. I want Bronze Mahomes to sit his rookie year learning from his dad. Like that's what I want.
No.
And then,
Bronze
and then a
doesn't
handoff.
Bronze doesn't sit. Nope.
Mahomes sat. Everybody sits.
Don't care. He's been sitting. He's going to be sitting behind his dad for, I don't know, 21, maybe 22 years before he's drafted. So, you know what I mean? Like, he's going to be learning a lot from him just being at home.
Sure. Okay. Then I'm saying just literally.
And then Mahomes retires, hands him the football.
Out, yeah, I want the handoff to be father to son, Patrick Mahomes to Bronze Mahomes. Make it happen. Play that long. And Sterling, your dad will find a way to still take you to prom, I'm sure, and walk you down the aisle and do everything else that's important. I'm sure he'll still find a way to be there for you, while also not abandoning us.
Right.
But if he does, but basically he wasn't throwing shade at Tom Brady. He was just saying, like, listen, really? I mean, he may have been throwing shade at Tom Brady, but I don't think so. I don't think Mahomes does anything like intentionally tries to like throw shade at anybody. But I think he was just being honest and saying like my family is at the end of the day more important to me than anything, and being there for my family is more important to me than playing football, which it should be, which is the right thing to say. It's not the thing I want him to say, but it's the thing that I respect him for saying.
But also, I can see how it is a little bit shade-worthy too, Tom. I mean, we've seen how his career's folded out, and I can even hear all the jokes that was made about him during the roast. It wasn't like he was he might have been a big family man behind closed doors, but we never really saw it. All we saw were the clips, the highlights of him kissing his kids on the lips. That's basically all that we've gotten from Tom Brady at the time of his career. So I like how Mahomes was like, yo, I'm not going to do this for as long as Tom did. Like, I see what that happened. Heck, it ends in the leading down the road where I may not be happy. I may not be able to see my kids, and my wife might divorce me. That's basically the road Tom Brady went and took because he chose football. Mahomes chose choosing his family. If that's shade right there, I mean, so be it. But I respect everything that Mahomes said.
You mean Mahomes doesn't want to play so long that he has so much plastic surgery that people start comparing him to Caitlyn Jenner?
Oh, I didn't hear. That was on
the roast. That's
right. You're right.
That was rough. That was that was a rough one.
I do think that Tom looks like Kevin Bacon though, or Kevin Bacon looks like Tom.
Tom has had Botox, and Tom has had facelift, and he's had a lot of work done on his face.
You don't say, Rocky. You don't say.
No, Tom looks like Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. Like that's what Tom looks like he's the lead singer of Aerosmith.
That's awesome.
All right, so we're saying maybe Mahomes was throwing shade at Brady, yeah?
Yeah, I'm saying yeah.
Okay, sure. You know why? Because screw Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, F that guy.
Yeah, F that guy. F Tom Brady and Hurts rental car.
He fumbled the football, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Tom. You suck. All right. Next in line for Chiefs Pop Kingdom. is so Julia Roberts was at the Era show in Dublin this past week, and she was seen being very chummy with Travis Kelce during the concert, laughing and talking and placing a friendly hand on his shoulder and chatting it up and
a couple of
throwing
pints
her
in the
head
system.
back, laughing. And the question is old Aaron Brockovich / Pretty Woman / Runaway Bride / what's another Julia Roberts movie? / the Pelican Brief. She was in the Pelican Brief, right? I think.
Dude, I cannot for some reason for the life of me to think of any Julia Roberts stuff right now.
Really?
It just like I all I can just
/ Notting Hill / Notting Hill.
I could just see her beautiful face right now in my mind. And
yeah. Well, anyway, is she moving in on Tay-Tay's territory and on Taylor's man? Or is it just harmless friendship and just two famous people seeing each other, talking, having a good time because they're all at a concert and they're just enjoying the situation and the atmosphere?
I think they're just enjoying the situation and the atmosphere. She's a Chiefs fan, right?
She is a Chiefs fan.
Maybe she's just
prior to this event, she was a Chiefs fan, which is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking she shows up to the concert and she's obviously hoping to see Travis Kelce, knowing he's going to be there. She sees Travis Kelce. She's like, oh, holy crap. I'm a huge Chiefs fan. You guys are awesome. You beat the 49ers yet again. I love you. You're amazing. And he was like, whoa, you're Julia Roberts. I love you. You're amazing. You're an icon. And then they were just like both just like having a good time, appreciating each other for what they have contributed to society as a whole, which is what countless hours of entertainment from different spectrums of the situation. But I think that it was 100% just a harmless thing, because also you got to be stupid to ever try to think that you can move in on Taylor Swift's situation right? Or B,
you would get raked over the coals if
you did that. Like you have to have a death wish, not just because of who Taylor Swift is and the fact that she's a billionaire but how popular she is and her fan base. Swifties will come for you in the night like a banshee and snatch you out of your own bed and tear you to shreds. Like there's not hell hath no scorn like Swifties. Like the quote of it being like a scorned woman. It's not even that anymore. Hell hath no scorn like angry Swifties. They will literally ruin your life. They will find a way to find your mother on Facebook and tell your mother what a horrible person you are until your mother believes them and then hates your guts. That's something that the Swifties will do.
I feel like Julia Roberts is more sweet on I don't know, like a Steve Spagnuolo or a Dave Tobe type of. I don't know if she'd go after a player. Maybe Chris Jones.
Okay, so let's talk here for a second. Okay, so Kelce's out of the mix. Mahomes is out of the mix. So ownership, coaches, and players included, who is the most if you could play matchmaker with Julia Roberts and one Chiefs player, who are you? What are you doing?
Oh, easily. And I think it would also people would agree. Louis Rees-Zammit, best looking guy on the team.
She does have a history of liking handsome guys from the UK, right?
Yeah,
like Notting Hill. I just said Notting Hill. Her and Hugh Grant, they burned up the screen together. So, oh yeah, that would.
She'd go the young route.
That would be a May December. That would be a May December type of relationship right there. That I would pay to see that chick flick. Oh my gosh, that is the best script idea we've ever had. Is that it's not just maybe cougar starlet going after a younger man, which is similar to not the starlet, because there's that new Anne Hathaway movie on Prime where she's an older woman who falls in love with a young pop star, right? And they get together.
Mm-hmm.
It'd still be a little bit reversed, where it's the cougar movie star falling in love with a young Welsh rugby player who's looking to break through and achieve his dream of playing in the NFL. So it's an underdog sports story, but then also a May December love story, and then two worlds colliding.
This needs to be the Hallmark movie.
And 100%. It should. This should be the Chiefs Hallmark movie. Yeah, this should be the Chiefs Hallmark movie of them finding love at Christmas time together. Like that would be an amazing chick flick, and it should star Julia Roberts. And then as Louis Rees-Zammit, you don't want to have him play himself because we don't know about his acting chops. You got to find somebody else to play him. You think we could bulk up Timothy Chalamet enough to play the role?
That or Tom Holland, maybe?
Yeah, put Timothy Chalamet on like the 300 workout diet for like 6 months and get him to play Louis Rees-Zammit, falling in love with Julia Roberts.
Oh man, she's not taking Travis though.
No, she's not taking Travis. That's not happening. It's not happening.
That's Taylor's man.
That's Taylor's man. But I'm happy that they found each other. I'm happy that they had a good time. Travis Kelce also said on a recent episode of New Heights that if the NFL ever expanded to London, he would like to play for the London team. And then he immediately realized what he said meant that he would not retire a Chief. And he immediately backtracked in the same moment and said, who am I kidding? I'm never leaving the Chiefs. But it's the off season and people are starved for content. So every single website from Pro Football Talk to, every like trash, like regurgitator on Twitter just sent out Travis Kelce named the one team he'd leave the Chiefs for. And that became the story that Travis Kelce said that there was a team that doesn't exist, by the way, and that there's no official plans in the works to make exist, to a guy who is in his mid-30s, who will probably only play 2 more years. Like there is not like a physical way that the NFL could have an expansion team in London fast enough for Travis Kelce's career.
He had to have enjoyed himself way too much over there during the Eras Tour when he was on stage with Taylor holding her up and all of that glitz and glamour. He had to have enjoyed his time over there, which, heck, if it gets you to say...
Wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't you?
So that's probably why he wants to go back. Who knows? We might see Travis once retired, move across the pond, and wants to live in London.
I mean, here's the deal with that is I don't know if Taylor would want to live in London again, given her past history there with Joe Alwyn and everything. There's a lot of memories. The city's a little ruined for her.
I guess
maybe in England in general, but I definitely think that Travis Kelce's moving somewhere else besides Kansas City once he retires. He's probably moving to New York, let's be honest.
I would love to move for a year overseas just to see how it's like to live there for a year and then come back over here.
My wife lived in Dublin for 2 years. She had her master's degree. I think I've talked about that a couple of times on the podcast. And Ireland is by far my favorite country to visit in the world. I love the country of Ireland. As a matter of fact, I'm going there again in this August. I'll be there in August for a week.
Sick.
I'm going to Dublin and Galway for a week to hang out. And I got to see a man about a pint at a pub. I'll be at Mulligan's Pub in Dublin, drinking repeated Guinnesses until they throw me out. Then I will stumble home and come back the next day and drink repeated pints of Guinness at Mulligan's Pub.
Please FaceTime me when you're doing this.
And then I'll go to the Brazen Head and drink repeated pints of Guinness until they throw me out. And I'll just continue to do that at every single one of the best pubs in Dublin. And then when there's no more pubs for me to drink at, I will go to Galway and I will continue my journey. And at some point, I'll end up at the Jameson Distillery, at the Tullamore Dew Distillery, and I will just try to come back in one piece.
I think by then you'll have your face plastered on hey, don't let this guy have a drink here.
Nah, it's Ireland. They'll say, hey,
get your ass in here.
This guy's a good lad. Buy him a pint. Look at him. He can take a lick at it and keeps on ticking.
Oh, it's sweet. That'll be fun for you.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. And other celebratory news, Clyde Edwards-Helaire got married and tied the knot this past week. And congratulations, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, nurse in training, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, multiple Super Bowl champion, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, best teammate there is. Got married to the love of his life, JoJo O'Connor.
Congratulations, both of you.
Yep. Congratulations. Looked like a beautiful wedding. Lots of Chiefs players were in attendance, including Travis Kelce, former Chiefs player Jarrett McKinnon, current running back Isaiah Pacheco, and Kadarius Toney. Those are just the ones that I saw. I'm sure other players were there also. Looked like a really beautiful ceremony, and congratulations to the husband and bride. It's going to be great. Yeah. And then also,
so that's not the only one that's out there.
It's not the only wedding that happened this past weekend. Rookie Chiefs left tackle Kingsley Suamaitea tied the knot with the love of his life, marrying I don't have the name in front of me. She is a basketball player for the Oregon Ducks, they've been together for quite some time, and he tied the knot with the love of his life as well and got married over the weekend. Young man who has found love of his life, and we love and celebrate love here at Veach Season. And I tell you what, there's only one wedding I'm looking forward to right now, Kramer Sansone, and that is yours.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait till you marry the love of your life.
So we actually got the date done this past week. It's gonna be September 20th.
That's big.
September 20th,
wow.
2025.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys got a venue and everything already?
Yep. We're narrowing one down right now. We just got to get the paperwork done, and we're gonna have a spot, and then we just got to plan for the rest of it.
I hope the Applebee's in DeSoto, Kansas is available that day.
Oh, we'll be near St. Joe's. We ain't going that slow.
Just joking. Obviously, we love Applebee's here. No, we don't.
Applebee's has rats.
Yeah.
Talladega Nights reference, people.
Talladega Nights. It's just a Talladega Nights reference.
Applebee's. We would love for you to sponsor Veach Season, by the way. Applebee's.
Hey, yeah, Applebee's. If you sponsor Veach Season, we'll eat boneless wings here on the air and say good things about Applebee's boneless wings all day long.
Yeah,
that also goes for Chili's. If Chili's wants to sponsor us, we'll eat their or Buffalo. Anybody who wants to sponsor us,
their dip, the queso dip's great at Chili's.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you send us, we will eat it live on the air, including if it is queso dip from Chili's. And I am severely lactose intolerant, and I will still eat queso dip live on the air if Chili's sponsors this podcast. So if that's something you want to see, leave a 5-star review and contact your local Chili's representative today. All right, so Chiefs updates. Let's go through a couple Chiefs updates really quick. There is a little bit of actual Chiefs news out there in the ecosystem. Chiefs. What are we calling this? This is like Chiefs border gate, like between like the Chiefs. Are the Chiefs staying in Missouri? Are they going to Kansas? Is there what is this like the new border war? Like what? We got to give this thing a name first of all.
Border Wars 2 MUKU. Jackson County versus Johnson County. No, it's not even going to be out in Johnson County.
I mean Wyandotte.
In Wyandotte, which is a good area, I guess. What would we call this?
Don't know.
This is because it's like, here's the thing. It's not like there's a bidding war. There isn't.
No.
It's just the fact that Jackson County wanted, they voted no clearly, so that they didn't want to renew this the 3.8-cent sales tax, and they said pretty much, bye. We don't want you over here in 2031, even though they still want them there. This doesn't make sense. What would we name this?
I have no idea. Arrowhead Gate.
Arrowhead Gate.
Yeah. Yeah, you have no idea. Whenever it's like a winter storm, it's always like
it's not like
snowpocalypse.
It's not like this is a bad thing, because I'm hoping they do narrow it down to where they're staying near us. Like they're staying in Kansas City. That's what.
They're staying in the KC metro area. That's all that actually matters about this. But anyway, there is some update to this, whatever we're going to call it.
If you have a name for us, please. Yeah, we'll run with it.
Please leave us a 5-star review and put the name in it, or any review and put the name in it, and we'll still, or just tweet it at us on Twitter, or slide to our DMs and send it to us. Yeah, no, I mean Twitter, as I always mean Twitter.
Yep.
Leave it on our mother's Facebook pages, because I don't check my Facebook page, but I'm sure my mother will get it to me. If you leave it on my mother's Facebook page, she'll say she'll text it over to me. However you want to get it to us. My wife has an Instagram, so send it to my wife's Instagram. She'll send it over to me. Just whatever you want to do. Give us the name, give us the updates. But yeah, so Missouri Governor Mike Parsons said this week that he expects an aid package to be in the works in order to keep the Chiefs in Missouri for the foreseeable future. When he says aid package, I assume he means a tax, another proposed tax.
Like we need more of those here.
But I wonder if it's instead of it being a county tax, it was going to be a state tax.
Why can't we just use all the weed money that Missouri has been using just to build a new stadium? Like, why can't they get into the weed business,
Because Kadarius Toney's using that money to record his next album.
With Dirk.
I have no proof of that. I got no proof of that.
Yep, same.
Of Young Joker. Allegedly. Young Joker and Lil Durk are recording the next album based with that weed money. But I have no proof of that whatsoever. And I do not want to be canceled or sued.
If you do the weed, do it in your state that has weed legalized, please.
If you're going to smoke weed in Missouri and not in Johnson County where they have nothing better to do but to arrest you for smoking weed. That doesn't just go for Chiefs players, kids out there, teenagers, college kids, mothers of 5, whoever it is. If you're gonna smoke weed, do it in Missouri.
Mothers of 5.
Where they have more important things to do. Homeschool mothers of 5 who homeschool their children. If you're going to smoke weed, do it in Missouri where they have better things to do.
Amen. But no, I just want this to be done. I hate the fact that it's like we've waited this long already to figure out where the next or where the new or where they're staying for the stadium process for even if it is the Chiefs or even if it's the Royals. I'm over it. I'm tired of it. I've been looking into this since 2020. Since 2020, Rocky. 2020. And it's been 4 years since then, and there's still no plan. Nothing.
Listen,
and people
this isn't going away anytime
I hate
soon.
politics. Absolutely hate politics. That's what we're down to right now. We're down to politics.
Well, thank goodness this is the great time of year, best time of year for you with the presidential elections just
that was
right up.
Gosh,
right?
that was a dumpster fire last Thursday.
We are not a political podcast, but oh my gosh, that was just stupid on all sides.
Yeah, it was.
I decided after that.
Here's
what I decided is that I'm voting for me, and you're going to be my running mate, and I'm just gonna. I'm voting Rocky.
I'm cool with
I'm
that.
voting Rocky Magaña for president. Hey, leave us a 5-star review and vote Rocky Magaña for president.
Actually, no, Serta would. You and Serta would make. Yeah, I could be the. Hey, I'll be the House Speaker.
The Latin ticket. That'd be me and Serta. I'm okay with it. I like that. All right. So anyway, other official Chiefs news. Charles Omenihu spoke again recently this week that he is circling the circling the Houston Texans as his date that he wants to come back as December 21st. As a game he wants to play when he comes back from his injury, the game he wants to play the most. Because he says he has a score to settle with the Texans because they drafted him and then they traded him away and he never got a chance to show his true potential there and they didn't believe in him. And after all these years, Charles Omenihu still has a vendetta, a grudge, and a chip on his shoulder against the Houston Texans, and I love it. Why? Because they're a possible playoff contender, and we need our I don't want to say he's a star per se, but like our starters, our impact players, our contributors fired up, and whatever you got to do to find that chip on your shoulder to go out there and to try to lay the wood and bring it and sack CJ Stroud. I'm a fan, and I'm 100% for it.
I love the fact that he still has something that he's playing for. Whether if it is going to chase that next Super Bowl ring, whether if it is to chase the next contract. No, this is just something plain and simple. This is just to beat the former team that drafted you, that gave up on you. Now that's all. Like that, it sucks that it had to happen to him, but that's molded him to what he is today. If it wasn't for that decision that the Texans did, then we wouldn't have the Charles Omenihu that we have right now. I don't think he's a dog. The fact that he wants to settle that date, I love the nastiness by him.
It's just good old-fashioned pettiness and hatred as old as the day is long, right? You know, like it's just that's all it is, and just let that fester inside of you, and then just unleash that wrath on the Houston Texans when you play them, and then stare at the sideline and say, and it's funny because it's not even the same coaching staff right now, but just stare at the sideline and say,
no, you just look at the owner's box. Just look up there.
Yeah, owner's box. Yeah, look up there and say,
no, don't even say anything. Just stare. Just stare up there.
Just stare at them like steely eye. Just let them see the whites of your pupils and just stare straight at them.
Is it in Houston or is it in Kansas City?
I'd have to look at the schedule. I'm not sure. We could look at the schedule right now, but we'll look at it and we'll talk to you guys about it next week. Yeah, we'll come back and let you know next week which one where it's being played at. In other news, DirecTV. This is a big one. Actually, probably the biggest news of the week. DirecTV lost a class action lawsuit saying that the NFL and DirecTV violated antitrust laws with NFL Sunday Ticket for years by not making it available to outside of DirecTV, and then also by jacking up the price to where it was beyond the financial reaches of most people in society, which it was, because to get Sunday Ticket, you had to pay like $90 a month for DirecTV plus $350 for the Sunday Ticket package, right?
Yep.
And it was horrible. It was unpurchasable, and there were people all across the country that didn't get to watch their teams because of it, and it was a thorn in the side of NFL fans nationwide for years and years and years, where you had to go out to a bar just to find your game. You couldn't watch it in the privacy and comfort of your own home. And then they sold the rights to Google and for YouTube TV, and they turned around. They did the exact same thing all over again. And if I hope anything comes out of this, it's that they reevaluate like the amount of money they could actually make if they did this in a smart and intelligent way, right? Like if you just sold on its own, if you just sold a single team subscription to their games on YouTube TV, like if you said it is $100 a season for you to watch every single Chiefs game, I could pay that. I would do that.
Everybody would do that.
Here's $99.99 plus tax for me to see those games. And so then instead of you getting 4 out of 20 people to sign up for $300, you're getting 15 out of 20 people to sign up for $100, right? And you're walking out with more money in your pocket in the long run. So hopefully this will move the needle and move the situation in a way that it's more beneficial to the consumer and less to the millionaires and billionaires who are just trying to like just squeeze blood out of a rock of every single NFL fan to make them pay exorbitant amount of money just to support their team. It's disgusting. And I think that everybody involved in it should be ashamed of themselves. And as a person who lives out of market, I go to wild lengths to be able to watch the Chiefs on a weekly basis.
Oh, trust me, I know you do.
Yeah, and so I won't say what those links are, but I go to wild lengths in order to watch the Chiefs on a weekly basis.
You have to refresh your I'm sure you have to refresh your browser 3 different times, if you know what I mean, in order to get to play.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem. It's not even like the browser. It's not even here's the deal. It's not even the browser. It's not even the risk of viruses. It is the pop-ups that just pop up. It's the pop-ups, and then that's in your browser history right there. That pop-up is, and then my wife is like, "I thought you were watching the Chiefs game," and then
I didn't get a notification on my phone saying that there's a blocked URL.
Yeah, now I got it. Yeah, and I would say what that URL is too, right? You know, why does it say that you were visiting www.insertadultmaterial.com?
Right.
That was a pop-up, and I had to explain to my wife, like, no, I was watching the Chiefs game, but the NFL is forcing adult material down my throat by making DirecTV cost way too much money.
I get around the where you click the X when you try to close out the thing, or you try to enlarge to make it the screen bigger, and it pops up the other window of like, hey, you could go to here to watch something like this. You click X, click it again, directs you back to that exact. You do that 3 different times, and it's like, hey, and then I can finally play the game.
You got to do it 3 times, and then stop and hit refresh, and then on the back arrow, and then it like breaks the cookie, and you actually get to see the video.
Yep.
but then you go and hit expand screen, and then it takes you to like a betting site, and you're like, dang it.
Yep.
And then you have to start all over again. Or you get to the page and you say, click here to watch the game. There's 4 links that say click here to watch the game, and you got to know the right one to click on.
Yeah, you do.
Otherwise, you're just going to a random like chat roulette type of site that who knows what you're going to get. And so
I like working out, so you know what stream I'm clicking on.
Exactly. And so if this minimizes that at all and reduces that in my life, I will be thankful.
Yes,
it might not. Here. It might not, but if it does, I'll be thankful. Last thing we got before we get out of here today, we can't leave without talking about this. I really feel like this could actually be a thing. The more that we see and the more we think, is Louis Rees-Zammit? It sounds like maybe the front runner for kick returns, right, and punt returns.
I'd hope so.
Which means that he's a lock for the roster. So at this point right now, I'm entering into training camp under the assumption that Louis Rees-Zammit is a lock for the roster, and that they wouldn't have given him the contract to pursue him the way they did if they didn't believe that he was going to be a lock for the roster. And with that being said, his best fit is in kick and punt returns under the new rules, and that's why they pursued him so heavily. And so I think that he is going to be the starting kick and punt returner to start the season for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think he's a lock for the roster. He's going to make it regardless. And because of that, is he low-key maybe the Chiefs' best fantasy sleeper, like late round fantasy sleeper this year in fantasy football? If you get 3, 4, 5 kick returns out of him under these new rules every single game, you could easily get 80, 90 yards, return yards each game out of him. And then you throw in 1 or 2 passes, maybe a goal line touch here and there. Who knows? But he could get you some decent points.
No, I agree. I agree with you, especially of how you would set up your fantasy league, because who knows? They may have punt return yards or kick return yards be a thing added to it this year. If you want to spice up your scoring strategy in your fantasy leagues. But I can see him sliding into later on in the season, whenever he familiarizes himself with the offensive playbook. Why couldn't he be like the Jerick McKinnon? There's a reason why Jerick McKinnon hasn't been re-signed back. And I know for a fact that they would love to have Jerick McKinnon back if they needed him, but I don't think they actually truly need him this year, kind of like they did last year. So if you could see him solidify being the guy at the kick returner and the punt returner, there's no reason for him not to do a little act like you're blocking, you're open in space, Pat throws it to you, and you just take off. We have seen Jerick McKinnon do that plenty of times, or even on a handoff roll. I really think we're going to see a lot from Rees-Zammit, and more that we usually see from a rookie, especially a guy who's now a first-year NFL player. I think we're going to see a lot being thrown at him because of, one, his durability, especially being playing over in rugby. And this is a guy that played pads, and now he's going to actually have a thin pad probably. I think he goes thin pads because it's going to make him a lot quicker. But I think he was a very big lock in fantasy football, especially late. Late, and you need a guy that you can probably get 5, 6, 7 points. You could flex him out every other week if you wanted to. Like, there's no reason for you not to at least put a little feeler out there for your 14th overall pick on your team. So
I mean, he's as good of a handicap as Clyde Edwards-Helaire if you have Isaiah Pacheco on your roster, honestly. And with the Chiefs offense, like Andy Reid, he loves bubble screens and he loves jet sweeps. Who better to run a jet sweep or a bubble screen than a guy who has spent his entire career catching the ball laterally?
Yeah.
Like, he cannot do a forward pass. His whole entire career is catching the ball laterally and getting upfield. That is his entire skill set. And so, I mean, jet sweep, bubble screens, I mean, that was 50% of Rashee Rice's production early in the season, right? I'm not saying he's going to have a Rashee Rice type of season, but I could definitely see the manufactured touches going his way as well. He's a big, strong, fast, athlete, and they just want to get the ball in his hands and see what he can do with it. And as long as he can hold on to the ball and make the most of his touches, I can see him producing at he's not going to be like at a high level right off the bat, but he's going to get touches and have opportunities to be a contributor. And like you say, he could be that 5, 6 point flex where he's just going to like not sink your week, right? If you need him in a pinch.
Yeah, no, why not? Why not go for it? I can't wait to see what he can do. I really cannot wait. It's like I loathe the fact the Chiefs got him.
Like I am a fan of the underdog, right? And
Same.
I am a fan of crossover stories. I'm a fan of handsome human beings, of handsome ass guys who have a great smile. So I might be more excited to watch him play because of the underdog aspect of this than I am for any other new Chief. Like obviously Xavier Worthy is going to be electric, and I want to see what he can do stretching the field. Kingsley Suamataia, I want to see if he can hold down the left tackle spot. Jaden Hicks, they're high praise coming out for him, about him possibly maybe even getting like starting reps at safety, right? All these things. But the guy that I'm probably most excited about because of the underdog story, and I just want to root for him, is Louis Rees-Zammit. I want to see him play, and I want to see what he can do. And regardless, like I said, he's a lock to make this team right now.
He'd be a great story if he ends up being like the most electric player in the world. Like it'd be fun.
No, it'd be a great story. It'd be awesome. And so, I mean, I have to go to Wales, make a pilgrimage to Wales to visit his hometown and to drink pints in a pub in Wales until they kick me out. And then I go to the next pub, and I would just do it. I mean, I'm just going to have to do that in all of the colonies, all the former colonies. I've done it in America. I've done it in Dublin. I've done it in Ireland. I'm going to go to Wales and do it.
Check it off the list. Come on now, Rocky.
Check it off the list. All right, we're going to get out of here in a second. Before we do that, I want to give you guys a heads up. Over here at Foolish Club Media, we're always looking to bring you guys new content and new things. I have a new project coming out that I'm working on with Serta right now. It is called Arrowhead Archives. It's something that I'm extremely, extremely excited about that I would love your support on. It is true Chiefs stories from like past players or just historical Chiefs stories, past and somewhat present. It could even be. We're still kind of figuring out what we're going to do as far as like the time span, but it's famous stories of the Kansas City Chiefs told in an engaging and narrative style that where the stories are dramatized, like you're listening almost to like a movie or an audio book, or in that way of a podcast, right? It's a narrative theatrical story retelling these famous Chiefs stories. And I'm doing a lot of research on these. Our first one is called The Hero of Critters Creek. It should be coming out sometime this week. It is the Joe Delaney story, telling the story of how when he was 24 years old, he was at an event at Chenault Park in Monroe, Louisiana, and he heard 3 boys drowning. And he, despite not knowing how to swim, he rushed in and attempted to save their lives and drowned in the process. It is one of the most exciting and engaging stories that I've ever researched. I have read over 100 articles. I have had countless hours of video I've been watching and research that I've poured into this, trying to make this the most accurate retelling of this story as possible. Obviously, there's some things that you just don't know. Like I can't ever know for sure what was said in a huddle during a high school football game for Joe Delaney, right? And so there are some spots of dialogue in these podcasts where they're dramatized for entertainment purposes. And so maybe I don't know for sure what words were said, but I know that he was in that situation and this thing happened and this was the messaging of that situation and the outcome. So we always try to keep it as true as possible to the spirit of the situation, the spirit of the story. And then any situation where we have a direct quote of a situation, we use that direct quote word for word in its entirety, and we do not alter it. And so very, very excited about this. I think it's going to be awesome. Joe Delaney is a personal hero of mine. He is a guy who was scared of water his entire life, never would go into water, never would go into anything over waist deep. And then when the situation called for it, he put his biggest fear aside and try to go in and save those boys. And he saved one of them, but he lost his life, and the other 2 boys lost their life. Also, this past week on the 29th was the 41-year anniversary of his death.
Oh, wow.
So we honor him and his sacrifice. He was given the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Ronald Reagan for his sacrifice. Nobody ever had a bad thing to say about Joe Delaney. Anybody who met him said he was a truly good man. That's how they described him, a truly good man. He would pay for electric bills for people in his neighborhood, buy kids shoes so they could go to school, get kids haircuts. A guy in his neighborhood, the lady in his neighborhood couldn't pay for her husband's funeral, so he paid for the funeral. Like, this was a guy who had no concern about himself, but had nothing but concern for others. And so he's a hero of mine. He's a hero of Chiefs Kingdom. And we have an episode coming out that honors that legacy this week. It's called the Hero of Craters Creek, the Joe Delaney story. And it's the first episode in our new podcast series that's coming out called Arrowhead Archives. We will not be making these on a super regular basis because there's such a time intensive production that goes into it, because we write the script, we reread the script, we edit the script, we research it intensely before we ever put pen to paper on it. And then I meticulously try to record it to give it the best sound quality and the best performance for you guys. So we may only have a couple of these that come out a year, but when they come out, know that we have poured everything we have, all of our resources and all of our effort has gone into this thing to try to make it as great and as awesome for you as possible. And so we have the first one coming out this week, and I'm super excited about it. So please, please, please tune into it and let me know what you think.
You can't wait for this, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's something I've always wanted to do. It's kind of a dream come true. And the fact that Serta believes in me enough to give me the shot to do this, and has given us the platform here at Foolish Club Media to be able to be experimental and to pursue our passions and to create and have passion projects. That's not something that in this industry, that's not something you get the bandwidth to do. So much of it is quick turnaround. So much of it is just cranking out content for content's sake, especially in the off season, so there's no dead air, and just commenting on every single thing that you don't have time for long form or for things of substance, right? They say people don't want long form, people don't want things of substance. I disagree with that. I think people who, when they get it, crave it, right? I think people crave quality content and things of substance.
Yep.
And under Serta's leadership here at Foolish Club Media, he has given us the bandwidth and the faith to chase after these long form things of purpose and of substance. And I am so lucky to be a part of Foolish Club Media, and I'm so excited to bring this to you guys. And with that being said, that's this episode of Veach season.
Yes, sir.
A tight hour and 17 minutes once again, Kramer. It's the off season, but I can't stop talking to you, buddy. So hey,
likewise,
everybody.
dude.
Yeah, I love you, man. This is the highlight of my week.
Love you, brother.
With you. We're just two guys at a bar hanging out is what it is. And everybody out there, thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight and joking around with us for a little while. We hope we brought some lightheartedness to your crazy week, because we all know life is stressful, but at least hopefully during this time it's a little bit of an escape. And thank you, and we hope we earned the privilege of your time and of listening to this. With all that being said, be good to each other, love each other. We'll talk to you guys next week.